Back button focus. What is it? Why would you want to use it? And how is it different than, say, manual focus? And what are some real life practical uses for back button focus? Hey, to understand how back button focus works, let's first just have a look at how you take a normal shot. You half press the shutter button, you get the focus, you fully press the shutter button, and bingo, there's your shot. That's how you normally take a shot. Back button focus is different. Now, it can take a little bit of setting up, and each camera is different, but once you've set it up, what happens is when you press the back button focus button, it uses the normal onboard camera system to get the focus as you determine, and then it stays on that focal plane until you press that button again. So you can then click away, doing whatever you want, taking whatever shots you want, knowing that that focal plane is not going to change whatsoever. It's just going to stay fixed where you set it at the very outset of your shoot. So in what circumstances might you want to use this then? Well, there is quite a few, and I use it really frequently when I just want to keep the focal plane on something and for it not to change at all. And a good example might be, say, a walking shot where you're taking shots of a couple walking towards you. As long as you can maintain the same physical distance between the camera and the couple, you can set your back button focus up and just keep taking shots as they walk towards you. And of course, you're walking back at the same speed that they're walking towards you. The other example might be, say, where you want to shoot through something but have the focus on something in the background. So just as an example here, I'm shooting here through this mesh, and I want the plants in the background to be in focus, and I want to take a lot of them, and I don't ever want the camera to catch hold of the mesh in front of the plants and focus on the mesh instead of the plants. So by using back button focus, I know that I can take as many shots as I want, and the plants are always going to be in focus. Now, how could that work in a practical situation? Well, let's say that you have a couple and they're opening up a bottle of champagne and all the bubbles are flying up all in the air, and you've got your camera on burst mode, and what happens is your camera focuses on the bubbles in front of the couple instead of the couple itself. Disaster. You're never going to get an opportunity to take those shots again. By using back button focus, you can make absolutely sure that your camera is always going to be focused on the couple and will never potentially catch the bubbles in front of them. And then, of course, there might just be situations where you want your camera to completely forget about focusing on something. You've got your back button focus all set up, and you just want to simply take lots and lots of photographs at a very fast pace. So your camera doesn't have to spend the microseconds focusing in on something before it actually takes the shot. You can just keep clicking away, knowing that you're in focus, whatever you want is in focus, and it's not going to go out of focus unless the subject walks out of the shot. You walk away, or you press that back button focus button again to reset back to your normal focus setting. So what then is the difference, you might think, between manual focus and back button focus? And the differences are only very subtle. But let's say that you want to take a photograph really fast and you want to keep the focus on certain subjects or certain things happening in the frame. Well, with manual focus, of course, it's a two-handed operation because you've got to grab your camera and twist the manual focus ring. And, you know, believe me, the manual focus ring is always normally all the other way around the circle than you want it to be. So it can be a bit fiddly to twist it and get it in the right spot. By the time you've done that, you may have lost the opportunity. The picture that you were looking for has possibly long gone. With back button focus, it actually uses the onboard focusing system to focus in the first place, and then it just locks it off for you. And the second thing is, of course, is that, you know, there's always a chance that with manual focus you're going to stuff around with the front of the camera and it's going to get knocked on something and it goes out of focus. Potentially you may not even notice that. With back button focus, it doesn't matter what you do with the focus ring, it will never move from the current focal plane. So there it is, that's back button focus. I use it all the time. I don't use it more than the standard focus, but I definitely would use it for some circumstance on lots of shoots that I do. Really enjoy using it, really feel confident that camera can just click away, and I know that everything's going to be in perfect focus and it won't go out of focus or change the focus until I press the back button focus button again to cancel it.